Over my last couple of projects, I learned that I don't have a good place to sit when I'm working at the bench. So today I'm going to make a couple of shop stools out of this one 2x12. To start, I'm going to lay out where I want the stretchers and legs and seat to come out of, and then I can start to cut all the parts to their rough length. I'm wanting to use the most straight grain pieces for the legs and stretchers, and then the rest of the pieces I'll glue together to make the seat. Now that the parts are all a little bit more manageable of a size, I can lay out where I want the legs and stretchers and seat to be cut out of a little bit more accurately, and then start the long process of ripping all the parts to size. The parts are in pretty rough shape coming off the saw, so I'll use a hand plane starting with the chair legs to clean up the first face. And then I'll use a marking gauge to mark out the proper thickness of the board that I need. I'll do that on both sides, and then I'll hand plane down till I just remove the marking lines I made. Once I'm finished up with all the leg parts, I'll move my attention to cleaning up the stretchers and the parts that'll make up the seat bottoms for the stools. Since the seat bottoms are going to be made up of 3 or 4 parts all glued together, I want to make sure that the edges of the boards are square to the face. So here I'm just checking it with a combination square. And then I can go ahead and start getting everything glued up. I'm using Titebond 3 for this, and I'll just glue the seat bottom pieces together and get everything put into clamps and then let it sit overnight. And once the glue's dry, I'll take everything out of the clamps the next morning and start to plane away any of the glue marks and try to flatten out or straighten the pieces as best I can. The seats are just going to be 12.5-inch circles, so I'm laying that out here with a compass, and then I'll lay out an inner line or inner circle that's about 2 inches inside of the first circle, and that's going to be where my legs go. I'm going to have 4 equally spaced legs, so here I'm just trying to break that inner circle up into 4 even parts. So I'll use my compass to find those 4 equal pieces. And then I'll use a set of dividers to lay out where I want the 4 legs to go. I'm not exactly lined up on those lines because I'm trying to stay away from the glue seams as much as I can. The last step is to connect the dots with what's going to be the sight lines that I'll use later to drill out the legs, and then I can come over to the bandsaw and cut out the circle. To figure out what angles I want the legs to splay out of the seat bottom, I'm using this carpenter square, and I'm marking in 2 inches, which is where I need to drill the holes on the seat, and down 20 inches, which is how tall I want the seat to be. I'll just use the square to connect the dots and then use my bevel square to figure out what that angle is. I'll draw onto my workbench here just what that angle is and then use a protractor just so I get the number. Doing this process to figure out the angles, make sure that the legs stick out just past the edge of the seat bottom, and that makes the stool nice and stable. Now with that sliding bevel set to the right angles, I'll use that as a guide to drill the chair legs. And here I'm using just a bit and brace. I use these wood owl cutters just because they cut really fast and clean. And using a bit and brace just gives me a little bit more control over power tools. And while I'm finishing up these holes, I just want to say thanks for watching my videos. If you like them, think about leaving a comment, hitting that like button, and subscribing to the channel. To reduce a lot of tear out in the top of the seat, I drilled most of the way through and then flipped the parts over and drilled the rest of the way through the other side. Here I'm just figuring out how long I need the chair legs to be. I'll get all those marked out, and then I can get everything cut to size with my bench hook and a crosscut saw. Here I'm shooting the ends of the legs. This isn't really necessary, but I'm doing it because I am getting ready to draw a couple of circles on here to start laying out the octagon shape for the legs, and I just found that easier to do with a nice clean surface. So once I find center, I'll use a set of dividers or a compass to draw out the circle. Next, I'll use this combination square to draw the lines on the edges of the circles on all four corners. And then using a hand plane, I'll start to set the taper on all four sides of the chair legs. The method I use to get good even tapers is start by making small little strokes at the end that needs to be the thinnest, and then just work your way back to making full length strokes. And that'll give you nice even shavings and a good taper. And once I've done all four sides, then I'll start knocking off all the corners and work them down to the circles that I drew out earlier, and that'll give me a good octagon shape. And I'll just work my way all the way around the leg until I have good, nice, even facets all the way around the board. To refine the shape of the seat bottom, I'm using some spoke shaves to clean up the circle and get rid of all the saw marks. Here I'm drawing out for a chamfer that's going to go on the top of and bottom of the seat, and this is just going to lighten it a little bit, make it not look so bulky. I'll clamp the seat bottom back up into my leg vise, use the spoke shaves again, working down to both lines they created on the top side of the seat and the bottom. I'm not trying to make this perfect. I want it to be perfectly imperfect. So I want to see the little facets and little lines left by the spoke shave. So I want it nice and smooth, but not super uniform. Now the next step is to start to cut the tenons. I'm using this pencil sharpener tenon cutter from Veritas. And I'll just clamp the leg up in my vise and then use this tool by hand like you see here to cut the cone shape or the tapered tenon. To match the taper on the tenon, I need to ream out the holes I drilled earlier. And it would have been way more efficient to do all this in one shot instead of having to set everything back up on my bench, clamp it down, get my bevel gauge set again, and then start to taper down. But again, I'll use a bit and brace to do this, and then just give it a good test fit at the end to make sure that the leg tenon fits in there nice and perfect. Once I have all four legs installed to the stool, I'll flip everything over and start to level it out. I need to figure out where the stretchers are going to go, and I need the stool to be sitting nice and even to do that. I know I want the stretchers to sit about 7 or 8 inches up, so I cut a block of wood to that size, and I'm just using a pencil to mark out the placement. Now I can flip everything over and use a Forstner bit to drill the holes of where the stretchers are going to go. To figure out the overall length of the tenons, I'm using 2 small scraps of wood that fits into the holes I just cut, pushing them all the way into the ends, marking them with a pencil. Then I can collapse them, take them over to the stretcher part, and mark out the length of the stretcher with the tenons. There's a lot of ways to do this, but I'm using a lathe to cut in the tenons on the stretchers. I'm just going to use a parting tool and keep working my way down until a 5/8 inch wrench can fit over the tenon, and that'll be a perfect fit for the holes I drilled into the legs earlier. I'll use that same parting tool to come in and cut tapers into both ends of the stretcher. Back at the bench, I'll cut the excess off of each stretcher and then test fit this stretcher into the legs. Here I'm drilling out for what's going to be the center stretcher, and I'm using this scrap piece of 2x12 just to kind of keep my bit nice and straight. Next I need to cut some wedges that are going to go into the top of the legs, and I'll just do that here, pushing a piece of scrap cherry that I had up against my bench dog using a chisel to taper everything out. And I'll just mark a line in the top of it and then use a small handsaw to cut the parts to size. To accept the wedge, I'm drilling a small hole into the tapered part of the leg, and then I'll use my dovetail saw to just cut a slit down to that hole. This will just keep the leg from kind of splitting apart when I jam the wedge down there. Now that the stool is almost ready for final assembly, it's a good time to clean up all the parts. Here I'm just using a block plane to get rid of all the marks that I put on the seat bottom when I was laying everything out, and try to smooth it up the best I can. I'll also go over all the legs and stretchers with the same block plane, just making sure that all the facets are nice and crisp, that there's no dents or scratches left. Because I need as much time as possible and there's a lot of parts to get put together, I'm using Titebond hide glue here to assemble the legs and the stretchers. The hide glue has a lot more open time or assembly time than other glues that I'm used to using, but it does come with some disadvantages. It's really messy and slick and thin to use, so I made quite a mess putting this chair together, but it just gave me the time to get all the legs situated and the stretchers put in place and all the tapers glued up here. And it does clean up with water, so it was really easy after I got everything installed and pounded into place to get everything kind of cleaned up with some water and a toothbrush. The last step of assembly was to flip the stool over and to drive in the wedges, making sure to apply a little bit of glue to the wedge in the slot and then pound them home. And then after I could give everything a few hours to dry, I could come in with a flush cut saw and cut off the excess tenons and wedge. To get the rest of the glue off and clean up the rest of the seat, I wanted to use a hand plane because it'll leave a nice flat surface versus using a power sander and like having it be a little bit wavy. The stool's a little tricky to chuck up in a vise at this point, so I found a way to wedge the stool between me, my saw bench, and my workbench, and I was able to keep it stable enough to get some good hand planing in and flatten out the surface. At this point, the bench or the stool is a little bit wobbly, so here I leveled it on my flat workbench, and I'm using a pencil here to mark out the bottom of all the legs. And then I'll come over to the edge of the bench, use a handsaw to cut the bottom of the legs all level with each other. Doing this like this will also make sure the whole leg sits on the floor instead of just one point due to the angles cutting the legs. To reduce the chance of any type of chipping or tear out on the edges of the feet or the legs, I'm just using a small hand plane to cut a chamfer into all the bottoms. And I'll use some sandpaper just to clean up a couple of plain tracks and leftover spots. And just as I thought I was finished with all the prep work, I found this big dent in the leg. So here I'm just spraying down a rag with some water and using an iron to create some steam over the dent and try to work that out. Let's get the part wet and the rag wet, apply that iron over, let the steam take most of it out, and then I can use a little bit of sandpaper and the dent just pretty much disappears. Now I'm ready to put some finish. I'm doing two different types of finish for these stools. I want to keep the raw wood color exactly the way it is, but pine has a tendency to really get yellow and nasty looking. So here I'm using a water-based polyurethane and I'll apply 2 or 3 coats to it. The second stool, I have some leftover milk paint from a chair project that I built not too long ago, and so I'm just going to do this lamp black milk paint, and I'll put 3 coats of that on the raw wood to get these nice finished stools. I think these things came out great. Super happy for $20 worth of construction lumber. They look amazing. They're super strong, and I think they will last years to come. They sit at just the perfect height when I'm working at the bench. If I'm chopping out dovetails or something, yeah, just really comfortable. I've been using them now for a few weeks, and I'm super happy with how they turned out. And I hope you guys really like this. And if you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.